What's up, everybody? Good morning. God bless. It's your boy Dave Mo Flips, Team Us 100%. As always, the channel is dedicated to making money based mainly around cars for the time being. So if you're interested in making money with cars, flipping them, detailing them, etc., this is the channel you want to be with. This is the only team you want to be on. Everyone else holds a little bit back. I give it to you 100% raw. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning, maybe 9 o'clock in the morning, getting my morning coffee on right now. You guys already know what it is, although it should be a white can, they didn't have any. And then I gotta go and take care of this car outside. I've been doing a lot of videos, I haven't been uploading. While I say I don't edit, I do edit to a certain degree. I always put in the intro and I always put in like the other things where it's like the subscribe, this, that, the next thing. From this point forward, I'm not doing any of that anymore. The only thing I'm going to do is have the Team Us logo, whichever one we're using for that particular video, in the bottom left or right hand corner. You guys are smart enough to know if you like what you see, subscribe. If you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to sit here like other YouTubers and beg for subscribers and, you know, do all this other nonsense, the giveaways and all that other stuff. Here's the giveaway, the information I'm giving you, all right? Keeping it 100% with you. That's the giveaway. If you don't find value in that, yo, it is what it is, man. You know what I mean? So, without further ado, let's get into today's topic. I was watching this guy last night. I was just bored on YouTube. I don't have cable, so I YouTube a lot, you know, and I had seen his channel years ago, and it's Chevy Dude. That's the name of his channel. And it's funny because it reminded me of one of my homeboys. Okay? And this isn't a dig at either one of them, but this is like a eye-opening thing that I want you guys to be aware of. So, he is having trouble buying at the auction, right? So he came from a big dealership. Big dealership, okay? So when you're working at a big dealership, you have everything that's broken into jobs, okay? You have the salespeople. You have the people that find inventory, whether that's through, you know, your typical trade-ins, but a lot of that inventory does come from auctions. I know when I used to go to auctions, I would see the big boys, the franchise dealers. I would see their agents there, their reps there, not repping like I do, but they would get paid to bring inventory in to the dealership. Usually what those guys were they were already wholesalers or they were already independent used car dealers. And then they just got bored of that and went over to the corporate world to work for a franchise dealer. And they would come in, and some of the not so smart guys would still be wearing their shirts that say Ford, Chevy, GM, whatever. And the reason why I say that they're not so smart is because you don't want to wear that, because there's a lot of people in the game that are spiteful, and they'll deliberately bid up a car knowing that you're going to pay more than everybody else because you have all the banks to back you, you have all the marketing to back you, you have the reputation to back you, and let's be honest, you have an almost unlimited supply of money behind you. And most importantly, it's not yours. You see what I'm saying? There's very few people that are cut from the cloth that I'm cut from, where if we're going out to eat dinner and you're like, yo, I got the bill. Okay, boom. I'm not gonna OD and be like, yo, I want steak, lobster, shrimp. I'm still going to order what I would normally order, which would probably still be steak, lobster. No, I'm just playing. You know, maybe I just get a burger or whatever. Now, like I just said, there's other people out there that are going to be like, oh, he's paying, let me kill the pockets. All of a sudden, they're ordering stuff that they never even ordered before a day in their life. They want to all of a sudden turn into some caviar eating. You know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy to me. But that's not the point. What we're trying to say is, when you're working for a large dealership, there's a bunch of different things, a bunch of different hats you can wear. And just because you're good, right? Let's just say you're the salesperson of the year 5 years running, right? Or let's just say you work in the financing department and you get everyone approved, right? Or let's just say you're the individual that buys the cars, the inventory from the auction. You got that shit down. Like you're the man. You know all your numbers. You know what's gonna make money. You know what you're not gonna make money on. You know this car's got a bad transmission because they're known for it. This car usually has sludge in the motor. You get to know these things, right? You've been around cars so long, you don't even gotta look anymore, all right? Like you just know. So all these things come into play, and I believe Chevy Dude, what actually in his last video, what he ended up saying is he's taking a beating at the auction, right? And this is his wording, not mine. I'm not saying this. I'm not digging on this guy. I'm not trying to pop smoke with this man. I'm just letting you guys know that if you're working for a large dealership right now and you think it's so easy just to come on over and open up your own dealership, you have another thing coming. The majority of you have another thing coming. One of my homeboys is in that kind of situation. We had a conversation yesterday. And, you know, he tends to buy certain types of cars or likes to buy those cars. And then, you know, his profit margin is so small that it's almost not even worth the headache of getting the cars from auction to retail, right? And then right now I'm doing wholesale. So that's a lot of, so I split up my business to go dollar menu cars. They'll always stay there. Dollar menu's there. But now I'm starting to do wholesale. When I'm wholesaling a vehicle, I want no accidents. I want financeable, so it's 10 years or newer. I want no announcements, preferably no announcements, like no structural damage, nothing along those lines. And I just want clean cars, right? So it's very hard to source those cars and be able to get them where you can still make money. And I'm not gonna front, if I don't see, so if in my profit margin, if I don't see a $2,000 profit margin as a wholesaler, which is ridiculous, okay? It's just not worth the risk for me. Because chances are, just because I said a $2,000 profit margin doesn't mean that I'm going to get $2,000, right? As a wholesaler, if I run that car through wholesale and I can make $500 profit, $1,000 profit, well, anything above $500 profit, right? Let's just say that. As a wholesaler, I should dump that car because you sell quantity. The problem with selling the cars that I like to sell wholesale-wise is they're very difficult to come by. Why is that? Because they finance for top dollar. Getting a car with no accidents, no structural damage, no rebuilt title, no title branding, right? Which, you know, one and the same. Very difficult to get at a rate that you can still make money. Those cars are usually clean, so they're not running through the auction all dirty where people are like, I don't want to clean it, I don't want to send it to the detail, they can't see past the dirt. Very difficult. So I believe Chevy Guy, I think that's his name, Chevy Guy. You can check out his YouTube channel. He's got like, I think like 500,000 subscribers. Really big with Corvettes. So I think what ended up happening with him is he has this goal set for himself, and I admire his goal. His goal is to sell only good cars, which should be all of our goal, right? But my goal with Dollar Menu Cars is to sell good cars. Safety first, air conditioning second, driver window third. For him, his goal is to sell like the creme de la creme, like absolute immaculate cars. So what he does is he'll go to the auction, and I can only assume because of the way he's purchasing these cars, he's either not really going to inspect them all, and you really don't have to. I haven't been to an auction in quite some time. I do most of my stuff, 90% of my stuff, 100% of my stuff the last 2 years online. Okay, when you're dealing with Manheim, you have this option to pay for what's called Deal Shield. What Deal Shield does is give you 7 days, I think 14 days or 28 days, depending on which one you want to purchase. And all it says is, you can take this car, let's just say you just bought, you know, a car for $10,000. You can take this $10,000 car, okay, add Deal Shield to it, and let's just say Deal Shield on a $10,000 car costs $350. These are hypothetical numbers, guys. All right, so now you get the car to your lot, your time is ticking, okay? So let's just say you went for 7 days. The car comes to your lot, you start looking it over, you realize, hey, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. You call up Deal Shield, which is owned by Manheim, and they will say, okay, just bring it back. And this is all at your expense. You paid to have it transported, now you're paying to have it transported back, or you drove it, whatever. Back in the day when I was doing Deal Shield, I wouldn't leave the lot. I wouldn't leave Manheim with the car. I would do all my inspection right there at Manheim. On non-auction days, they usually have enough area that you can run them. You get through the gears and everything like that. You look at all the body work. You look underneath it for rust, stuff like that. Down here in Florida, if a car has always got a Florida title, chances are it's not going to be rusty. Yes, there are people that have cars registered and insured in the state of Florida and use them up north, and that's what you want to look out for. But the majority of people just leave their cars down here. We don't really have to worry about rust. Maybe some surface rust on the trucks that go by the beach and stuff like that, but nothing in comparison to up north, okay? So what ends up happening is you don't like it for whatever reason. I sent the car back to Deal Shield because of the paint. So in the pictures, and I always make jokes about the Manheim cameras, in the pictures it looked beautiful. The car looked great, right? When I got there and I seen the car, I did not believe it was the same car. So, I mean, like, it actually looked like someone took transmission fluid, put it on a rag, wiped it down, had it go through the CR process, and a week later when I picked it up, through the rain of the heat, it evaporated the transmission fluid. Transmission fluid, lighter fluid, none of these things are safe to put on your paint. But there are dealers out there that will put them on their paint and it'll give it this beautiful shine. So you could take pictures of it. I know dealers that will do it once a week. They'll have their porter go out there and transmission fluid or put lighter fluid all over their cars. So this way when they're being shown, they look really good. Again, this is some scumbag type stuff. You know what I mean? I definitely don't partake in that, but whatever. So back to what's going on with this guy. He's sending a lot of his inventory back, right? And then when he's purchasing cars, he's purchasing them very close to retail. The problem with that is you have beautiful cars and they're going to sell, but when you're going to finance them, the bank's only going to give you so much money for them. So if you're already buying them close to retail, the amount of money you're going to profit isn't enough, right? To cover the headache. And there's an old saying like, you never go out of business if you're making a profit, which is true. If you have a brick and mortar establishment, you can't count profit till all the bills are paid. I mean, really that goes for anything, but it's a lot easier if you're a work from home type of business, right? Where you're on eBay, so you don't have an office. All you have is free boxes from UPS or the post office, right? You have, I don't know, what would an eBay business have? Maybe some cards that they put in there, like, hey, thanks for buying it. What I'm trying to say to you is the overhead is very low if you have an at-home business, okay? Versus a $3,000, $4,000, $10,000 monthly rent before we even get into the water, the utilities, right? So anyways, back to the story. So he's not making profit till he knocks out all that stuff and then he's got profit. I believe in my heart of hearts, and I don't know, again, but I've seen it already with him probably like 4 times where you'll get these individuals that come from dealerships and they think it's, you know, a walk in the park. Oh, well, I've worked at this dealership for 10 years, 5 years, 20 years. I'm the man, blah, 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 blah. And they come over now, all of a sudden they realize, wow, I ain't got my team, right? Because when I worked for Chevy, I had a team of people. I had finance managers. I had salespeople. I had people that brought us in inventory. Like, there's everyone who does whatever it is that they do, and they're professionals at what they do, right? Like, you don't go to your doctor to start asking them about an oil change on one of your cars, right? Because a doctor specializes in medicine. And to be even crazier with that scenario, with that example rather, most physicians, unless they have a general practice, they specialize in one area of medicine, whether it's like oncology, hematology, ortho, neuro, right? You wouldn't go see an ortho surgeon, an orthopedic surgeon, about a neuro issue, right? Like, don't take me to the leg doctor because I had a stroke, God forbid, knock on wood, right? Like, that's not what you do. So again, when you're in these dealerships, and I'm speaking to you, if you're thinking about doing it and jumping ship, baby steps here, guys. If you're going to do it, do it. I applaud you for doing it. Consider being a rep for somebody, or while you're at your dealership, consider trying to be a fly on the wall in all the other areas. You feel what I'm saying to you? Like, he's having a hard time buying the cars. My buddy was having a hard time buying the cars because he couldn't see the value in the cars that I was buying. I've always been a street guy. You feel me? Like I've never worked in corporate America in regards to auto sales. Like, the only job I've ever had is where I'm at now at the hospital. Like, that's all I've ever had. When it comes to these cars and everything else, like, I'm a street dude. Like, I only know what makes money. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care. So right now in my driveway, I have a 06 GMC Yukon Denali and a 2005 Nissan Altima. Most people are not going to say, hey, let me buy these cars, because they don't. They're like, hey, I'm a Nissan, Honda, Toyota guy. Hey, I'm a Lexus, Acura, whatever guy, right? Person. I don't care, okay? I only care about what I'm going to pay for the car versus what I'm going to be able to sell it for. In terms of, the things that are wrong with them, it doesn't really bother me that much. I have a great team of mechanics that really catch my back at all times. Similar to Flying Wheels, another YouTuber, not one of my favorites, but there is a lot of value in the things that he does. For instance, he, from what I understand, has always been a used car person. He's never worked, again, this is just from what I understand, for a dealership. So everything that he has learned, according to him, he's learned from the bottom up. He started, from what I understand, with dollar menu cars and worked himself up to where he's at today with these nicer trucks and vehicles. And if you watch his channel, you'll notice that there's a slight transition. It looks to me like he's trying to get into a niche market where he wants to sell Bentleys, Astons, and higher end cars, like really higher end cars. That's what it looks like to me. I think one of his biggest hurdles to overcome is his location. Now, those cars will always get purchased from people all over the country, which is fine. He's got a big following. If you notice now, he's plugging a lot of his cars. Hey, if you guys want to buy this car, come to my website. There's nothing wrong with that. I choose not to sell my subscribers vehicles. I don't want to get into business with you guys. I want to teach you how to be in business for yourself. I'm not looking to make money on you guys. That's not what I do this for. And these are, again, this isn't smoke. This isn't shots fired. This is just me and someone else doing things differently. But I do believe one of his biggest obstacles is going to be the winter. So when you're selling those types of cars, right? Again, Bentley, I think he's got a Bentley, and Aston, and a few Vets right now. If you're selling those cars, you really want to keep them indoors. Like, even down here in Florida, the sun is so brutal on those cars. And believe me, when you get a dashboard crack in a Bentley, to fix it is ridiculous amounts of money. Could nearly wipe out your profit if you didn't purchase it right? So here in Florida, if we were to sell those cars, we would have an indoor warehouse just for those vehicles. And I think if I'm not mistaken, he does own a warehouse. And I could definitely start seeing him hang another license at that warehouse, cleaning it up, making it showroom quality, and having those types of cars move over to that warehouse, okay? But again, this isn't about that. It's really about you guys coming from a dealership thinking you know so much. But understand, working for a dealership, especially franchise, is totally different. So I am begging with you, proceed with caution, okay? Because again, at a dealership, you guys have mechanics, you guys have everything. And here's the greatest thing: no money comes from your pocket. So with Chevy dude, he's floor planning everything. He's floor plan. I don't know his floor plan. He's got good credit because according to him, I think he's got like a Rolls Royce, which is kind of weird because it's not a Chevy and it definitely doesn't fit into what he's selling. So I don't know if it was just a great deal and he bought it. I don't know. I don't really watch his channel like that. But he just be ready, be prepared. Because it's different when everything falls on your shoulders. And he's got, from what I can tell, a great woman that holds him down. Like my girl. My girl is great. She holds me down. Like she will, you know what I mean? Like she'll hold that work. She'll just hold me down, man. Like there's no other, like I don't know how to explain it, but she's a ride or die, And she's not out for herself. Like me, she wants other people to do well, and that's the reward for people like us. You know what I'm saying? Like you winning is me winning. If you're out there winning because of the information that I've given you, one little piece of my information mixed in with everyone else's, I feel like I'm winning. I feel like I brought something to the table to benefit your life, and that's real talk. So the moral of the story is, if you're thinking about jumping ship from where you're at now, being a franchise dealer, employee, to owning your own spot, just understand that there's a lot that goes into it. And it's not easy to get banks. It's not easy to get floor plans. And I really don't recommend getting a floor plan. For Chevy dude, it works because he knows a little bit more about the car game than most. And I don't even think it works for him because when he was going over his numbers briefly, by the time you paid for the car, plus the interest, plus the fee to get it, it didn't seem like there was much meat on the bones. And in my opinion, I work with a 20% ROI, which is very low, okay? So, and I mean, I made it ultra low because I still feel like I'm making 20% more than my bank is gonna give me to have money with them. So, if I spend $10,000 on a car, I need to see no less than a $2,000 profit. Okay, that's a 20% ROI. When you get into financing, you could be in the 40s, sometimes in the 50s, depending on how you're buying. If you're buying the way I'm buying right now, and I had financing, I can tell you this, last night my homeboy and I were going over all my numbers for what I had purchased. If I had financing, I'm in the 85 to 100% or 110% ROI. That sounds like BS. I know, because I wouldn't believe it if I was you either. And I really don't, I mean, I have proof, but I don't have proof on video that I could show you like right now, like, hey, look at this. And even if I did, unless you're my accountant, there's really no way to prove it. So if you've watched the other videos, you guys know what I'm doing. It's no secret. And because I'm wholesaling cars or getting into the wholesale market with that $2,000 or more profit margin mentality, to be able to flip that into financing cars, you would be able to make anywhere from 85 to over 100% ROI. There is some work involved, and you really have to know your stuff. And it's not easy to learn, guys. So anyways, I'm going to let you guys go. I feel like I extended this video way too long. I do apologize. But you know, I'm long-winded. I get to talking. I never stay. ADHD is a whamma jamma. How am I doing my cursing though? So, God bless. Like I said, I hope, you know, you and yours find yourself with health and wealth and, live your best life. The takeaway from this video is really and truly, don't think because you work for a franchise dealership, you're going to be the king in this world. They're two separate worlds. And while they work well together, they're not the same. Okay? You're not going to walk, most people are not going to walk out of that dealership and walk into a used car lot and continue to move the same way. One other thing I want to say about that is when you work at a franchise dealership, you're working with cars that are 4 years or newer, right? Because you want that certified pre-owned or brand new vehicle. As an independent dealer, good luck finding those cars, number one. Number two, if you find it, good luck beating the franchise dealer out of them. Number three, if I'm a customer and you have It's 2022. You have a 2019, let's just say Nissan Altima. And Nissan has a 2019 Nissan Altima. Why would I not, for the extra, let's say $3,000 to $5,000, because there's going to be payments anyway, chances are, right? Go to Nissan, get it certified pre-owned, get an extended 100,000 mile warranty built into my payments, okay? And then not have to look for a shop to do the work because I can simply just bring it back to Nissan, which will probably give me a loaner vehicle. Or at least, and the reason why they like to give you loaner vehicles is because it's usually an upsell. So if you come in with an Altima, they're probably going to put you in a higher trim level Altima or maybe even a Max, right? So that's like how it works. So that extra money that you're spending is peace of mind for a lot of people. And let's be honest, if you can get approved for that type of car, Nissan can probably work some magic and get you approved for their car using their banks. So now you're dealing with cars that are older than 4 years old because you don't want to be in competition with the franchise dealers. The truth of the matter is, you don't have the team. You don't have the money. You don't have the marketing. You see what I'm saying? You don't have the repair shop. You don't have a lot of the things that they have over there. Okay? And that's just, guys, that's just the truth of the matter. I'm not trying to piss in anyone's Cheerios. I'm not trying to rain on your parade. I'm trying to keep it real with you. It's just not something that I think it's not doable. It's just not something I think you're going to walk into and be great with. Anyway, guys, it's time for real. I'm out. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys watching. I apologize for my lack of uploading. I will definitely get back to uploading, especially now that I feel like my life is getting back in order. I'm trying to do some new things with the with detailing the cars, because back when I was doing videos like how I did those cars and stuff like that, I was able to, some people ask, oh, what do you use for this? What do you use for this? I changed up. I don't use LA's Totally Awesome anymore. Not that I don't love that product. I absolutely love that product. It's just the dollar store doesn't have it anymore. All right. And when, Dallas Paint Correction, I'm dropping names like a whamma jamma. Dallas Paint Correction, Scott from Dallas Paint Correction, he got me hooked on dilution ratios. So I'm using La Totally Awesome at 100%, right? And now, by me, you're spending $7 a gallon for it, okay? And you can dilute it, but what I learned is when you dilute it, it wasn't working out. When it was $1 or something like that, you could use it straight and it doesn't matter. So I actually did my homework and another video. Guys, be safe, love each other, just be healthy, just stay healthy. Don't believe me, health is like, in my opinion, the number one underrated thing. I think so many of us get caught up with money and all the other things that come along with that. And I'm speaking firsthand. I used to be 250 pounds. I'm pushing 350 right now. Fucking cheeseburger away from a heart attack. These monsters aren't helping. But I'm gonna try to get it together. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do the best I can. Not only for myself, but for my loved ones. I want to be here a long time for my family. And like I said, just being in the hospital and seeing again, so this is the second or third time in my life that I almost had lost my life, like on a serious level, where I was hospitalized and the priest came in and gave me my last rites and the whole 9 yards. He didn't come in on this last day, but when I was younger, twice, and I put my mother through hell. I aged so much because no one wants to see your baby boy go down like that. But I think this time I got the message, and the message to me is, you don't have to be all gung-ho and cut everything out of your life, but you got to do everything in moderation. I've heard it my whole life. And just value things that maybe are not monetary. It's great to have money. What's better is family. Now, I'm not saying to get rid of the money to have the family, because believe me, you need money to pay your bills and stuff like that, but you don't have to live and die by it, especially not at the cost of your loved ones. I hope that resonates with some of you guys. I gotta go. All right. This one's for the road. This one's for the road, fellas, ladies. hate carbonated.